𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃 here with another What If? What if the Namikaze clan had a Dojutsu? Part 3. If you're watching this as a movie though, well, just keep going, but if you're watching this as Part 3, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, share the video to a friend who likes videos or anime content in general, comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video, as well as what are suggestions, if you wouldn't mind. And with that being said, we can now begin the video. We left off with Naruto killing Sai and Sasuke killing Yugao. And that's it for a recap. If you haven't seen the part before this already, then I would suggest starting at part 1 or watching the movie when it comes out. It would be here that Naruto runs at Torine and Fu Yamanaka, with his shadow clones fresh off of killing Sai. It would be here that Naruto gives him and his clones a quick vibe check, appearing before them, and kicking Fu and judo flipping Torine, using his clones to enrich a beating on them. And then, his main body, as well as a clone, would use a water-style jutsu and lightning-style jutsu combination technique on Torine, which would eventually electrocute him. It would be here that he would continue the combo with ninja wire, pulling him down into the ground, but within that interval of pulling him down into the ground, Fu placed Naruto under the mind transfer jutsu, allowing for Torine to slowly heal himself, getting up and punching Naruto with his poisoned hand. But, unfortunately for Fu, Naruto was much different from your average shinobi. His will was almost that of iron. He had an iron will of sorts. And Naruto's will on the inside overpowered Fu's by miles. It would be here that he would break out of the jutsu, the mind transfer jutsu. It was shown in the anime and the manga that you can do something like this. When you are put under the jutsu, if you have a stronger will, then you are able to break out of the jutsu. He broke out of my jutsu? What in God's name? Naruto would then realize that while he was out, he had been hit with a poison. Unaware of what the poison was, Torine bowed to Naruto, acknowledging his power as superior to his, and as a ninja in general. It would be here that Torine asked for Naruto's name, as Naruto was unresponsive. What is this poison? Naruto asked, as Torine said nothing. Torine figured it was too late to tell Naruto anyways, as he would walk away, running over to fight Sasuke, with Fu, as Naruto couldn't move. Or, well, he barely could at least. He couldn't stand, that's for sure. But he could move his hands, and slowly but surely he would pull out the bugs that Shino had given him from his ninja pouch. These bugs would heal Naruto from the poison, nearly fully recovering his body. Naruto regained his footing as he would blitz Torine. You know, we didn't even get to finish our fight. I have respect for the 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃 clan, so I'm giving you the option to stand down, as this is a direct stand against the Hidden Leaf Village and your own clan. It has become now clear to me that you are of the 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃. Torine 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃. Torine said nothing, as Naruto would grab him, judo slamming him into the ground, and unsheathing his short sword. It would be here that he would stab Torine in his stomach. Oh, and you asked my name. Well, it's Uzumaki Naruto. Torine coughed up blood. Thank you. Thank you for the battle, Torine would say, using most of his strength to get out the words, as Naruto would then do what Torine had done to him, bowing. Goodbye. May you be free of Danzo's torment. It would be here that Naruto would, well, end up killing Torine, as he would run towards Fu, stabbing Fu in his back and rendering him unconscious and immobile, aiding Sasuke with his 100 shadow clones against Danzo, and telling Hinata to start firing some water needles at the eyes and, well, arms on Danzo's. But she wouldn't actually be able to hit these eyes until the seal came off. That's why Naruto and Sasuke did most of the dirty work in removing the arm seal. Hinata would nod, doing so. Meanwhile, the real Naruto then aided Kakashi, using his 3 Tomoe in both eyes, which would make Naruto easily Kage level, or at least able to keep up with Zabuza and Haku at the same time. It would be here that Naruto then fired a fireball at Haku, as Haku then used his magnificent rock dome of nothingness to counter, and then he would even activate his demonic ice mirrors, trapping Naruto inside of them. It would be here that Naruto fell down, as it felt as if he were in a, ice bath, and relaxing. And he had put so much strain on himself with, using his 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃 and, being on the brink of death and then being healed by Shino's bugs, that his body just gave in. As his eyes slowly shut, he appeared before the Kyuubi. It looks like you've run out of chakra. Even for someone like you, the 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃 is very taxing. I know. But I also don't know what happened. I just fell. Kakashi said something a while ago about my reserves only truly being potent when I have to protect my friends, or something like that. Yes, that is what Kakashi said. And that may be true. Or you just have yet to tap into that chakra. Anyways, would you like my chakra? Sure. But does it come at a price? No, Naruto. You die, I die. In the real world, Haku had just left the ice dome / ice mirrors and attacked Kakashi with 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃, taking Kakashi out and now pinning him to the ground, as they would then aid Danzo against Sasuke, also pinning him to the ground and leaving him in an even worse condition, whilst Naruto was still talking to the Kyuubi. This made Sasuke just barely be able to cling to consciousness, but also Danzo wanted Sasuke to stay conscious so he could see them kill Naruto, and which would in turn, Danzo believed, at least, would awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan in Sasuke, seeing one of his comrades die. As they would then also leave Hinata in critical condition. Although this Hinata is far stronger than her counterpart at this time, I see no reason why Hinata would be able to beat Danzo, Haku, and 𝙎𝙈𝙃𝙃. It would be here that they would also pin her down to the ground as well, with kunai and senbon. Haku would then throw 3 senbon at Hinata, as these senbon actually impaled her, causing her to bleed. It would be here that 𝙎𝙈𝙃𝙃 would then funnel chakra through his sword, making it blunt and slamming it into her ribs. Now you may ask why they're going so hard on Hinata and not, Sasuke and Kakashi, but they already did the damage to Sasuke and Kakashi, so they now had to even it out by attacking Hinata like they attacked Sasuke. Sasuke already had wounds from his fight with Fu, and now he had even more wounds from his fight with Danzo, and then of course 𝙎𝙈𝙃, Haku, and Danzo came in to attack him once more. And obviously for Kakashi, things are kind of the same. He already had damage from his fight with Haku and 𝙎𝙈𝙃, and then, Danzo, 𝙎𝙈𝙃, and Haku worked together to beat him up even more. So this is just them evening out the pain so that all of them couldn't move. With that being said, as he slammed his sword down into her, causing her ribs to, break, it would also send her flying into a tree, which would knock her out with dozens of senbon now in her body. It would be here that Naruto awoke with a fierce rage, running at Haku. This is for Hinata, Kakashi, and Sasuke. Naruto looked around. Tears were almost in his eyes as he realized what had happened while he was gone. It would be here that he held out his hands, as he would create a massive ball of planktonic energy. This matter, this atomizing matter, was enough to destroy the things around him, just surrounding him. Sasuke, who couldn't move, mustered up the strength to get up, as he would use an Uchiha-style Great Fireball Jutsu on the ball, which wouldn't be all he did. It would be in this moment that Naruto realized that Sasuke's Dojutsu had evolved into something different, as the flame that was orange on Naruto's ball of atomizing matter quickly turned into a black flame, as Sasuke said the words Amaterasu, falling back into the ground. It had seemed that he and Kakashi had awakened their Mangekyo Sharingans from thinking that Hinata had been killed and passing out due to chakra exhaustion. Of course, Sasuke passed out due to chakra exhaustion after using Amaterasu, but Kakashi had passed out much earlier on. Or else he would have probably ended up using Kamui to help Naruto in some capacity. It would be here as the ball then connected with Haku, who held out a sort of gigantic ice shield. I'm sorry, I was ordered to kill her by Danzo. You as a human being have free will. Cut the crap! Ah! Naruto would overwhelm Haku, wiping him out of, well, quite literally existence, and turning to Zabuza as he would get behind him, using a bit more of the Nine-Tails' chakra to make his nails more fox-like. I didn't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Naruto had tapped into the Nine-Tails' chakra. It would be here that he would claw into Zabuza's collarbone and rip it out, kicking Zabuza into where Haku had been decimated. Lucky I showed you remorse. But no more. It would be here that Naruto would jump up into the air and slash Zabuza into pieces with his sword. It would be here that he would turn at a scared Danzo. Please spare me, young Jinchuriki. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. You mean, I mean that I didn't intend on hurting your friends. They got in my way, okay? No. You hurt my friends, and I won't stand for that. Gah! Naruto would run at Danzo, as it would be here that he would kick off of Danzo's head, which would leave him dazed. It would be here that he would also then grab both of Danzo's arms, yanking them clean off and imploding them from within with chakra, the offset of which obliterated Danzo's left cheek, as wood style then flooded from Danzo's arms. Naruto unsheathed his sword, jumping back. The wood style was rambunctious in nature. It even seemed uncontrolled, as he would slice away at the wood. Like I said, you will pay for what you've done. The trees and wood then stopped pouring out from Danzo's body, to form small roots from the arms that were once there. Naruto would then stab Danzo in his chest, twisting the blade 180 degrees and lifting it. It would be here that he would slice Danzo quite literally in half, as no Sharingan were left on his body, and Danzo was then dead, as he no longer had the Koto Natsukami in his eye. Naruto then made his way towards Zabuza, throwing a paper bomb, knowing that the demon of the mist Zabuza was quite powerful, and just ripping out his collarbone wouldn't be enough to kill the supposed demon. Although you could call this overkill because Zabuza already had his spine pulled out, Naruto wasn't taking any chances, knowing of Zabuza's regenerative capabilities. Naruto then, upon instinct and instinct alone, picked up Sasuke, Hinata, and Kakashi, quickly returning to see Yugao Yuzuki slowly standing up on the way back to the battlegrounds. Naruto had grown even more enraged at the sight of this, as he stood in front of Yugao, surrounded by the mostly dead bodies of Danzo, Zabuza, Torine, Fu, and Haku, as he clenched his fist. Yugao looked up to see the blood dripping from Naruto's hand and onto the dirt beneath him, as she pulled her blade out and pointed it towards Naruto. So much rage, she thought to herself. What could make the boy so angry? He's hurting himself and doesn't even realize it. She knew this because, well, Naruto was clenching his fist so hard that blood was literally pouring from them. But it was then that something bizarre happened. Naruto's body encased itself in chakra, but this chakra was purple, green, blue, and red. The colors then mixed together to create a white chakra, as Naruto yelled out in agony. It hurts so bad. Please put an end to it. Put an end to this pain. Damn it, can you hear me? Do it, you stupid Anbu. Damn it. Sweat dripping down from Naruto's body and onto the dirt beneath him, and blood pouring right now from his hands. Yugao looked at Naruto in both disgust, fear, and, well, awe. She was surprised and didn't know what to do, say, or how to react. You think I wanted to be ruthless today? You and your stupid friends, Donzo and his mercenary hires, you made me do this. You gave me no choice by harming my friends, so just end my suffering. Please. Because I don't know what this power is that I'm experiencing, but it hurts. It hurts so much. Just run your blade through me already. Please. With that, Yugao slowly walked towards Naruto, increasing her speed, as she stabbed her blade through Naruto. But Naruto didn't move, telling Yugao that he couldn't feel the blade, that he couldn't feel a single thing. Naruto then shed a tear, as everything around him began to evaporate into nothingness. The ground began to cave in, the trees around Naruto turned into dust, and everyone around Naruto was atomized into nothingness by the force of the chakra. Naruto then went on to place two things on the heart of the ninja world: destruction and creation. But it would be here that Naruto began to grow even more pain in himself, as two large wings were now on Naruto's back. But the atomizing chakra that was around Naruto that turned Zabuza, Haku, and Fu, as well as Torine, into dust disappeared, as he now aimlessly walked away, falling to the ground of exhaustion. Kazuna had been watching it all happen, and just like that, the white chakra that destroyed everything in its sight slowly dissipated. Kazuna would grab Naruto, taking him back to his home to recover, as reinforcements of the Hidden Leaf Village arrived, going to the village hidden in the waves for intel. The reinforcements included multiple Anbu and Asuma and his team. Also, side note, Sasuke, Kakashi, and Hinata had been saved by Kazuna while Naruto was fighting, the Anbu known as Yugao Yuzuki. / not really fighting her, but you get the point. It would be here that Asuma's team would look around the village, finding Kakashi, who explained that Naruto had taken care of the problem and had successfully saved all of their lives. Asuma lit a smoke. You really let some randoms that your genin could take care of beat you? Have you been slacking on training? The smoke began to grow dull in Asuma's mouth, and he slowly put it on the ground, stomping it out beneath his feet. Maybe that's what you would like to believe, Asuma. But it's just not the case. Naruto isn't quite the same kid that ran around painting on your old man's face anymore. Oh yeah? Naruto was quite rambunctious in his youth, wasn't he? Asuma would put another cigarette to his mouth now, lighting it. Yeah, that's Naruto for you. Asuma then exhaled. You don't say. He's come a very far way, hasn't he? That's the least of it. Well, the next generation is definitely stronger than us. Well, some of it at least. Yeah, it's kind of ironic. Don't say that. You make me feel old, Kakashi. Well, it was nice talking to you, Asuma. Sure thing. We now skip to Naruto, who has now been rested, or rather is now resting, as well. Recovering from something like what Naruto went through is very, very hard. It would be here that he would heal up his wounds, as a bandit would open Kazuna's home door, unsheathing his sword and pointing it at Naruto. Kazuna wasn't home, nor were any of his family members, as Naruto got up in a blink of an eye, and was stabbed by the bandit, too slow to react due to his injuries, as he had been exhausted beyond belief. Naruto now began to bleed profusely, as, well, he would die. I see no reason why Naruto survives a direct blade to his chest whilst in the state of injury that he's in, and so Naruto is now deceased, dead, gone. But he would wake up, at least Naruto's soul would wake up, in a sort of dream realm. This was the space between living and non-living, as he was before the Sage of Six Paths. What's your name? My name? Yeah, you. The old man in front of me. Who else would I be talking to? There's no one here. It's all just darkness, light. Neither. My name is 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙊𝙃𝙃. Naruto would then ask why he was there, why he was in this place. As 𝙎𝙈 would explain his backstory, but not about Indra and Asura and the cycle that is the Indra and Asura cycle. But he would also explain that the overuse of that god power that Naruto used will lead to having either too much power, that you will have a chakra disease, similar to what 𝙎𝙈 actually experienced in his life, or even a similar disease to what Itachi has. Or it will lead to its power fading entirely. If I were to guess, it is currently a 50 times multiplier. The overuse of this will make it a 10 times, then 4, then 2, or it will gradually increase and cause you to slowly die. 50 times your own strength is already too much at your own strength and chakra level. Which is why you felt so much pain when going deeper into that dark power created by the 𝙬𝙗. Naruto said nothing as he thought to himself, What is this man saying? Does that mean so I'll only use it when my life and the lives of my friends depend on it? Precisely. And even then, only if you doubt your strongest power without it, and or the Kyuubi's chakra, would, well, not work. Yeah, well, that's all cool and dandy and all, but I don't think you realize, old man. I'm dead, unfortunately for me. So this is the end of my road. Does that mean you're gonna be like my best friend, and we're gonna talk till the end of time? No. You haven't even let me finish. Well, you didn't let me finish either. The Kyuubi doesn't fully link with me anyway. Just tell him that old man 𝙎𝙈 told him to, on the condition that you train with Sasuke. But we can't keep meeting like this. Got it, Naruto? What does that mean? It means that I'm going to revive you. You will return to the land of the living. Alright. Thanks, old man. I really don't know what to say besides thank you. I guess I'll try not to die then. Yes, that would be very good. So, how do I get out of this place? Don't be silly. You're dead. I was just giving you advice for the next life, you know? 𝙎𝙈 laughed to himself, as Naruto looked scared out of his mind. To be dead. And, well, that 𝙎𝙈 was laughing. The sage then told Naruto that he was just kidding, as Naruto disappeared from the realm that he was in, with 𝙎𝙈 saying goodbye to Naruto. Naruto woke to the voice of Hinata as he would wake up, sitting up in a bed, which Naruto could tell was at the hospital, as Ivy was connected to his arm. Naruto would then ask why she was there, and she told Naruto that he had died, and exclaimed that she wasn't here to give him some ramen, as Naruto's face lit up. Thanking Hinata. Hinata said that he was quite happy for someone who, well, was dead, or at least looked to be on the brink of death. As he shook his head, No, I'm not happy about that, obviously. I'm just glad that you cared enough to be here right now, to sit at my bedside while I was in the state I was in. We now switch to them arriving back at the Leaf Village and being congratulated on their mission, as they are, well, all congratulated on the mission. The mission was then explained in great detail by Naruto, as Hiruzen explained that the Chunin exams will be held in a month, a difference from the canon, and that they will train in that time period to prove themselves to the Leaf Village, as well as the world. Everyone will now start their training to reach new heights, and to hopefully get strong enough to show off their abilities on the biggest of stages, and be given the rank of Chunin thereafter. It would be here that Naruto would train with Jiraiya, but in this timeline he gets the water walking jutsu down within just minutes, as he can fluctuate his chakra with the 𝙬𝙗, and later goes on to even mastering the summoning jutsu within the first day, as he has more chakra, as well as the Rasengan, as he also already has an imperfect version of the Rasengan, shocking Jiraiya, as well Naruto would obviously explain how he got it through Kakashi. Naruto would then pick up some weights and buy some for Sasuke as well, knowing that he'd be finished his training soon. And Sasuke's training is faster as well, already knowing lightning release as well as already having fast speed, and he already has a imperfect Chidori. So he just works on honing it, and he does this in a day's time, going to train with Naruto intensively, as they would then train in a fashion that was almost inhumane. In the first hour of the day, they would eat proteins and carbs, like, well, Naruto's favorite, ramen. Then, in the 2nd to 8th hour of the day, this would be extensively spent on a brawl with the intent to kill each other, and then after 2 hours of this, they would spend time working on all areas of their bodies. And in the last hour, they would have a light spar and would try to strain their dojutsus as much as possible, with Sasuke's Sharingan being able to point out Naruto and his own flaws in battle when he gets tired and sloppy, which would help Naruto hone his taijutsu skill. And then they would sleep for about 8 hours, before repeating the process over and over and over again for the rest of the month leading up to the Chunin exams. This would also give them great muscle gain, though they wouldn't realize this, but it was swifting their personality, making them more determined, as we now switch to the perspective of Hinata, who had been practicing on a dummy in the Hyuga's compound, hitting all of its Tenketsu points, as she would later be told that Anko would be her trainer for the month, leading up to the Chunin exams, as Hinata would be delightful, happy to train under any Jonin, let alone someone like Anko. Hinata would then train under Anko, learning fire release and developing her water release. Although I believe that Hinata is overlooked as a talent, she is in her own right very talented, and I believe that she is talented enough to learn a chakra nature in just a month, and to further develop her water release, of course, as well as getting minimal healing jutsu and summoning jutsu under her belt. Her summoning animal is a snake, and she can also propel snakes from her hand, like Anko and or Orochimaru, or even Sasuke can. Sasuke, noticing that both of his teammates now had summonings, would ask Kakashi to teach him the jutsu himself, which means that this Sasuke now has the eagle summoning and ninja hound summoning, as we now have our 1 month time skip complete, with Naruto getting a cape with the kanji of 6th on his clothing, which is an homage to his desire to be the 6th Hokage, as Naruto knows that the 5th Hokage will probably be one of the legendary Sannin, Jiraiya, or Tsunade, once Hiruzen's too old for the job. Also, just to be clear here, the reason why Naruto thinks that one of the legendary Sannin will take up the mantle of being Hokage is because during the time of training Naruto before the Chunin exams, Naruto would actually go out to find Lady Tsunade, as he and Jiraiya would seek her out, as Naruto would actually be the one to convince her to become a future Hokage, or to at least consider it, by using her own weakness against her gambling habits. He would bet her that if he could land a blow on her within 10 seconds, that she would have to return to the village and cut out her gambling problems, and also be the 5th Hokage, which is actually what would happen, although she hasn't officially been declared Hokage yet. Sasuke and Hinata keep their clothing design, and their personalities had all shifted, becoming much more serious as they entered the second half of their career. Anyways, with that being said, we now start a new arc, and we skip to the Forest of Death. There is no reason for us to go over the actual exam part of the Chunin exams, the testing part, as well. Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke all pass with flying colors. Naruto does also pass with flying colors, as he didn't have a horrible score in the canon, and he's much more intelligent, as it's way easier for him in this timeline. As I was saying, we now skip to the Forest of Death. It would be here that Naruto would immediately create 5 shadow clones, and Sasuke would create 3, with Hinata creating 2, sending them out to attack other ninja and obtain their scrolls, as the main body Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke would approach the epicenter of the Chunin exams, or rather the epicenter of the Forest of Death. As Orochimaru would then send 5 ninja after them. These ninja would intrigue Naruto, who was able to feel their presence. among Leaf Shinobi. As they engaged in combat, Naruto would immediately throw a punch prompting one of the ninja to dodge and kick Naruto away, which would send him into a tree, as Naruto then got up, taking a better look at his opponent. It was a boy who he had guessed was around 14 to 15, with gray hair and blue eyes. It would be here that an off-guarded Naruto sighed. "What's your name and your origin?" The man would reply. Also, it is no, understatement to say that this boy blitzed Naruto, as even though he caught a off-guarded Naruto, this is a feat in its own right, just based off of how fast this Naruto is. The boy would reply that his name is 𝘾𝙍𝙗, and that his clan is the nearly extinct Kaguya. Naruto would reply that, they're extinct, and that he was surprised that, any of them lived. "I wouldn't say extinct because I'm standing right here before you, but gone they are, and I am the only one left of the clan." "What clan do you hail from?" "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and the Uzumaki are gone as well." No, that is false. But what an interesting coincidence. It would be here. Also, side note, 𝘾𝙍𝙗 says that it's false because of Karin, and he knows that Karin is an Uzumaki. Anyhow, 𝘾𝙍𝙗 would leap at Naruto. I see no reason why Naruto wouldn't know that the Uzumaki were wiped out in this timeline, as Jiraiya would most likely tell him on their travels to find Tsunade, as he can clearly tell that this Naruto is much more mature enough to know something like that. Anyhow, 𝘾𝙍𝙗 and Naruto would continue to engage in combat, as he would eventually pull out a bone sword, clashing with Naruto, who had pulled out his own sword to counter, parrying the attack and using his Kuroime to enhance his perception, jumping back and throwing ninja wire connected to his clones, who threw them paper bombs. What I mean by that is they threw paper bombs in tandem at the same time at 𝘾𝙍𝙗, as Naruto would then perfectly align a water style and lightning style jutsu with the help of the Kuroime, as Naruto would then pull 𝘾𝙍𝙗 down with the almighty pull into the attack. 𝘾𝙍𝙗 would then be killed by Naruto, or at least it had seemed. But to his surprise, 𝘾𝙍𝙗 would emerge from the dust of the giant explosion that had destroyed several of the trees around them, and created an actual part of wasteland, if that's what you want to call it, in a forest as luscious as the Forest of Death. 𝘾𝙍𝙗 had survived the attack unscathed, but something was off about 𝘾𝙍𝙗 now. Naruto felt a darker presence on him, as he was covered with black patterns all over his skin. He had activated stage 1 of the curse mark, amping his power by 10-fold, as the curse mark would grow on 𝘾𝙍𝙗, slowly but surely. This is where I'm going to be ending the what if. I know, right in the middle of a fight, but I have to leave room for part 4 and then the movie. So if you're watching this in the movie, then just keep going. But if this is the end for you on part 3, hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe button, and yeah, this has been 𝘾𝙗𝙗. I love you all. If you're watching the movie, just keep going, and yeah, 𝘾𝙗𝙗 out.